Right, I've had the Red Wolf for a couple of weeks now. Been out with it plenty, shot maybe, I don't know, 10 rabbits with it at the minute and a couple of pigeons. And as you can see, I've made a few changes to the package that came from the airgun centre. I fitted it with the Leica Magnus 1.8i, 1.8 pond meter 12 by 50i. Really nice scope. Really good optical quality on that Leica, really nice. And I've just put one of these carbon fibre Spartan bipods on it. Really, really nice bit of kit this is. Carbon fibre legs, aluminium housing, just twist to adjust them. They just slide out, twist it to lock it. Oops. Like that. Got a magnetic lock onto the dovetail here. I've got one of the Picatinny rail mounts on it because I put a Picatinny rail on the front of the bottom of the rifle, so I can put my night hunting torch on it as well if I need to, and that has made a heck of a difference to it, shooting it from the static position. Couple of little things on this gun. First off, things I'm not happy with at all, and that's this automatic cutout thing. It's a bit of a shocker if you're a hunter, I'll be honest. It's a pain in the arse. It shuts down to save the battery, but the trouble is I've missed 2 rabbits with it so far where it's shut down, you bring the gun up to shoot and it's closed itself off. So then you've got to recycle the cocking lever or turn the safety catch on and then back on again. And it doesn't take much, but while you're doing all this faffing about and then retaking the aim again, I've missed a couple of rabbits where they're just gone by the time you finish fanning about. And I really wish Daystate would put some sort of manual override on it. I know it's going to use the battery up quicker, fair enough, but personally, for hunting, I'd much rather recharge the battery more often than have to worry that every time I come to take a shot, as the rifle electronically shuts itself down, is it ready to shoot? You know, it's become a bit of a stressful rifle to shoot because you never know whether the damn thing's going to be ready for the shot or not. Now, I have no doubt that eventually it's going to be easier to shoot, obviously. You know, I'm going to get more used to it, how long it cuts out and whatnot. But I have to say, I think Daystate's made a bit of an error there for hunting. It's far, far from ideal. And another little feature on the gun, which is also far from ideal from a hunting perspective, is the magazine counter. Now, this sounds at first like a really useful feature. It counts down, when you put a fresh magazine of 10 shots in, it counts down the 10, and then when you get to the last shot, the rifle gives 4 little pulses that you can feel and gently hear, but mainly feel through the stock, to let you know that you fired all 10 shots and that you need to reload. Sounds great. Sounds really useful. So you set it up, but if, like me, I've only got 1 magazine, so what I do is when I'm wandering around, if I take a few shots and then there's a bit of a quiet spell, or I'm climbing over a fence or something and I've decocked it and everything when I get over the fence, I'll make use of that time to reload it. So I'm not shooting the last shot and then trying to reload with the possibility of another rabbit coming out the hedge or something. So I reload it when it's quiet. Or when I'm walking down the lanes or something, I have to cross over a lane or whatever, and then I put my gun back in its bag and I make use of that time to reload the magazine. The problem is that the rifle doesn't actually count the empty spaces in the magazine. It just counts how many shots you've had from when you load a fresh magazine. So it counts down to 10, and then when you reload another one, it then counts down to 10 again. So if you only fire 3 and then you top your magazine back up, it still thinks you've only got 7 shots left. So it'll let you fire them 7 shots and then it starts vibrating and won't shoot again. So unless you're intending to take all 10 shots before you take the magazine out the breech to top it back up, as if you were target shooting or whatever, then again, another feature that's a bit of a pain in the backside. More useful if you're target shooting, or if you're shooting from hide or something and you're just going to sit there and shoot off all 10 shots, or if you've got another full magazine to slip in straight away and you're not having to hang around while you reload one. So I did have it on, that feature turned on for a while. Thankfully you can turn it off, so now I've knocked that on the head. So they're the two pain in the arse things basically. It's not a very relaxing gun to shoot, because most of the other air guns I've had, you put a magazine in, you cock it, you put the safety on, and you know you're ready to go. All you've got to do, as soon as something pops its head up, or something comes out of the hedge, or you've stalked up to something, turn the safety off, take the shot. Easy. With this, it's not that simple. You've got to remember how long it's been before you've last cocked it. Then if it's been too long, you've got to recock it, reset the safety catch. If the rabbit hops back in and you're waiting a bit longer, then you've got to do it all over again. It's just an absolute pain in the arse, really. You know, it's more geared up. I'm not sure where they were going with that idea. It's more geared up, I think, to be honest, towards bench rest shooting, target shooting, you know, HFT. It's just an annoying thing for a hunter to have that other thing to think about of, you know, is your gun cocked? I've even got to the stage now where every time I come to take a shot, I'll cock the damn thing anyway, whether it needs it or not, just to make sure that when I come to take the shot, it's going to shoot and it's not just going to, you know, give you a dead trigger pull with nothing happening. So there you go. Now, plus points. Well, it's accurate. Can't fault that. It is an accurate gun. Shooting off the bipod at 35, 40 yards. It's bob on. Everything's under a 2p piece. And that's just shooting off a bipod, you know, not resting it in a gun bench or anything like that. All the rabbits I've shot so far, all been took down with good headshots. It's got some power in it, drops them like a stone. Doesn't seem especially pellet fussy, but I like the Air Arms Diablos with it, the same as what I was used to use on the Renegade. Seems to function really well with those. It's not overly heavy. It's not as heavy as it looks, because it does look like a big heavy lump of a gun, but it's not actually that heavy. I like this. I've tweaked the stock up a bit. Actually made a bit of use of it, raised it up, so I get a better eye alignment with this Magnus scope from Leica. Magazine, faultless as ever, no problems with that, it's a lovely thing. Get a hell of a lot of shots for your charges as well with it, which is another good thing. So all in all, pretty pleased with it, but the electronic shutdown is super annoying. Really is so annoying. And it makes you wonder, in all honesty, because unlike a lot of reviews of these things, I wasn't given this gun, and I wasn't given a massive discount from Daystate, and I'm not a Daystate ambassador or anything like that. I haven't been given this gun just to test and then return it from some gun shop or whatever. I paid full retail for it from the Airgun Centre. So, you know, I've got no sort of tie-ins with anything why I might not give a realistic review of the thing. And I'll be honest, I'm beginning to wonder whether I would have been better off as a hunter just going for the Wolverine R. Because you've got the same side lever action, you've got a regulator which is probably just as consistent as this, or you know, negligible difference between it. You've got the same barrel, you know, not so far off the same shot capacity, very similar stock design, and other than the electronic trigger, which on this I must admit is an absolute joy to use. The electronic trigger is wonderful, the best trigger I've ever used. But apparently the trigger on the Wolverine R is also extremely good. And then you haven't got any of these electronic shutdown messing about to contend with. With that, it's straightforward. Magazine in, cock it, safety on. As soon as you turn the safety off, you know it's going to shoot. Every time, no matter how long you leave it. As soon as you flick the safety off, bang, there's your shot, done. So I am beginning to wonder whether I did actually, because I do only use it for hunting, I bought the wrong gun. And maybe should I have got a Wolverine R and in the process save myself a few bob as well. I don't know, maybe I'll get to like it more the more I use it. You know, I mean, I'm taking game with it. I am, but it's just a bit annoying because it's just that sort of question mark every time you got to pull the trigger. Is it going to go off or is it gone back to sleep again in standby? And it's just a great shame that you can't override it. I just wish you could. You know, the magazine counter, you don't have to have that on, you can override that, so that's no real biggie. And in all fairness, if you're setting the gun up and shooting targets and things, it's great because you know you get your 10 shots, it vibrates, you know you've got to stop and reload. But it's just not particularly good for hunting because it doesn't keep a regular count of the actual magazine, it just counts how many shots you've had. So if you reload the magazine before you fired all 10, it doesn't take that into account. But overall, yeah, it's done alright so far. You know, at this time of year, rabbits are really getting difficult to knock over. All the stupid ones have already been shot. So you're only left with the really smart, wise old rabbits that are gone like a shot the minute they hear you coming. All the daft ones that are a bit dopey or a bit stupid, they've all bit the dust. So at this time of year, it's hard work getting them anyway. And like I say, I've put 10 in the bag with it so far and a couple of woodies. So, I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit hypercritical of it. But compared to the stay, I'm hunting 5. You know, that's just a double. You just put your magazine in and away you go. You get your 5 shots and then that's it. And you put a fresh magazine in. Happy days. And the trigger on that is not far off as good as this, but I must admit this trigger is incredible. It is a fantastic thing. If you've never tried a Daystate electronic trigger, even if you don't like the electronic actions or you can't be bothered with all the rest of it, just shoot one to try that trigger out. They're unreal. Seriously, you just touch it and the action's so dead. If you keep nice and still and follow through with the shot, you can actually see the pellets in flight. I just shot a rabbit earlier on, about 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago. And it's great. You can just literally see the pellet sliding in and whacking it just behind the eye to take it down. It's just bizarre the way you can see the pellet flying into it. So there you go. It's a nice gun, lovely gun, really well made and all the rest of it. But it's not without its problems in the hunting field. I have no doubt if you're using it for bench shooting or if you're using it for target shooting, it's probably nigh on perfect. But if you're out in the field hunting with it, it's not without its problems. You know, it's not the perfect super gun. I wouldn't have thought it'd take much to iron it out to make it the perfect super gun. But it's at the minute as it stands, it's not the perfect super gun. It does have a problem, I think anyway, in that electronic cutoff. It makes it a pain because you're never sure whether it's going to shoot or not, and you find yourself constantly recocking the bloody thing, whether you need to or not. So, something to look out for, and maybe, you never know, Daystate might cotton on and eventually put some sort of override on them. So, you know, you just turn it off and it just becomes like any other air rifle then. It's fully electronic still, electronic action, electronic trigger, but, you know, you load it cock it, and it's got 10 shots on tap. You know, you don't have to keep faffing about with it. So there you go. Wonderful gun, but not without its problems. So I would suggest to anyone that's thinking of buying one, they give it a bit of thought what they want it for. If you just want it for hunting, then I'm not sure, as it stands at the minute, that this is necessarily the perfect rifle for the money. And I think you'd have to give consideration to, like I say, maybe a Steyr, maybe the Wolverine Art, or maybe the FX Crown, perhaps, as a rifle that you know that when you pull the trigger it's going to shoot. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Keep out for more. We're putting in more updates the more I use it. And you never know, I might eventually get able to sort of preempt when it's going to shut down. But at the minute, it's yeah, at the minute it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Thoroughly recommend these bipods. Really, really good. Very, very light. Adds virtually no weight at all to the rifle. Really, really handy. And the other mount is much more streamlined than this one. The one that fits over a sling swivel. Much more streamlined. It's already a lovely streamlined bipod. I mean, I hate them Harris things. Them twangy springs and that pressed metal, they look bloody awful. I mean, alright, they do the job, but for me, they make a noise sort of like twanging as you're putting the legs down and things. Don't like them. But this is great. Thank you.